Oh, how vengeance takes hold of us and creates the most powerful demon of all and leads to resentment and despising of one's existence. Hi, everybody. My name is NikoTheLegend, also known as the Snowflake and the Well-Mannered Teenager. And today we're going to talk about something real quick. Well, quick, not to be disrespectful, but quick in the sense that, considering what the article has entailed of, we can only go so far with what has been said and the context of the article itself, but I will do my best to relay the message of what has been going on. So, as we all know, or if some of you have not, and recently I have discovered that a man that goes by the name of TotalBiscuit on his YouTube persona has passed away due to his fight in cancer, and that was on. I have the wiki up right now just so I can get the facts straight. Was on May 24th, 2018, and he was fighting his battle against cancer, which he announced on October 2015. So his real name was John Peter Bain. So we can only imagine how much of an impact that has done for a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that have known him, a lot of gaming companies, a lot of family members, and all that, you know. So condolences to those people and to the man himself, who is no longer with us. So, what does this have to do with anything Bioware related or news related? Well, it's the fact of what I said in the beginning, that vengeance does take hold of a person's soul and creates the worst demon of all. So, the big man himself, Bioware GM Casey Hudson, has made an apology for somebody who went on the path of vengeance, and this is a ex-employee of Bioware by the name of David Crooks, who, now like I said, you just got to go with what the context of the article states, and there are quotes taken bits and pieces here, and you know how journalism likes to take things into their own hands and create something that's not even completely true. But like I said, take it with a grain of salt. It's still pretty heart-wrenching, considering that death shouldn't be a thing that this world should deserve for somebody who's just doing what he was passionate about. Whether you like his opinions or not, you shouldn't wish ill will on somebody. Now, unless he was the second coming of Hitler, or a serial killer or a mass murderer who happened to do YouTube videos, which somehow he was able to and didn't get taken down or anything, but then I understand. But from what I've read on the Wikipedia, and I know you can take Wikipedia also with a grain of salt because anybody can make a Wikipedia post, it seemed like this guy he knew what he was doing, he knew what he was passionate about, and he loved what he was doing, and he was very successful in what he was doing. So kudos to TotalBiscuit for, sticking to his guns and reflecting how he truly felt about something, and hopefully provided enough facts and evidence to prove his claim of if he liked the game or not, or if he didn't. But anyway, to the heart of the matter is that Casey Hudson has apologized for David Crooks, who has been making countless tweets about the passing of TotalBiscuit and how much he did not like the man because of what he said about two major games that he worked on. Now, the article doesn't state what he has worked on, but what it does state, it does state one of them, and one of them was Mass Effect Andromeda. So, yeah, when you're someone who's worked on one of the worst games ever designed in history of gaming, pretty close to the level of Sonic 06, and admittedly, folks, it was that bad. It was that bad, and when it came out. It still is pretty bad, but not as bad. So if you want to give it a second chance, like No Man's Sky, then by all means, or just buy it and test it out for like $7. So you couldn't go wrong. But this is a man who's worked on Mass Effect Andromeda, like I said, the most critically poopiest game that's ever been released from a AAA publisher or developer. And so as much as a reputation as Bioware has, it was just a slap in the face for everybody. those developers were slapping themselves in the face or shooting themselves in the foot with a gun. But when you're David Crooks and it's somebody who has worked on 2 major games, and I'm assuming one of them was Mass Effect Andromeda and has been critiqued by TotalBiscuit for how terrible and awful it was, and the fact that this is just freedom of speech and the man's right to critique a game that has been proven countless times that what this man has worked on, Mass Effect Andromeda, for example, is poop. Quote, "My face is tired." But when you say statements like the world felt a little better, like I said, out of context probably, doesn't state the whole tweet that the man's saying, but you can only go with what we have so far. Now obviously I could post the article or the tweets and actually read them and be a smart researcher, but I guess I'm being a little bit lazy, so I do apologize for that. But you can always just look it up in, David Crooks tweets, if he's not banned from Twitter or whatever you want to call it, if he didn't take down his post. But saying the world felt a little better in regards to maybe he's wanting him to, he's glad that he passed away because you got mad due to a review he said about your game, which was already proven to be shitty. It's just it's not a little, it's pretty cold. It's pretty low blow. And it also states that Crooks' tweets saw him condemning the critics' video games on games that he had worked on, along with how the YouTube creator had never addressed his repeatedly toxic fan base. Like I said, I don't know too much about the man, so if you guys want to leave anything down below describing what his fan base or what his YouTube channel was, actually doing, or what is consisted of with the community and all that, by all means, I'd like to know. It's nice to know from a personal perspective too, not just like searching Wikipedia. Like I said, a little lazy, so I do apologize for TotalBiscuit in his honor. But here's another quote from David Crooks stating that, or not stating, but saying, "How about the time that he was the center point of not 1 but 2 major games I worked on, dishing out a plethora of shitty criticism that was less than useful and didn't help anyone, and are still some of his most viewed videos," Crooks tweeted. And like I said, this man is just reflecting his opinion on a game, and whether or not you think it's useful or not, it doesn't matter. Because if it didn't matter, why would you take it to heart, right? If this is one of the games if Mass Effect Andromeda was one of the games that he heavily critiqued on, then that just goes to tell you that you're doing something wrong on your part. When not just him, majority of the gaming population, gaming fan base, developer, reviewers from across the globe have stated and proven that Mass Effect Andromeda is shit, then it's gonna be a little useful, But like I said, I don't know what other games that he heavily critiqued on. But like I said, it's his right to express how he feels about something. If you're offended by something like that, then maybe you should do better on your games instead of reflecting how angry it made you, and then you make stupid posts that eventually require his former boss to apologize for somebody who's just making such cruel and hateful comments, supposedly. And how it doesn't represent EA's, Bioware, EA's views or his own, and, respects, just respects. And some people just want to see the world burn. But anyway, it's not just David Crooks, though. This is a man who, from what I've read, has critiqued other games that other people didn't like, and truth be told, have given him review copies for him to specifically review. And that's because of his TotalBiscuit's reputation for reviewing things and being good at what he does. He's one of the best commentators. He had his own World of Warcraft podcast show, or some radio show, or something like that, because Blizzard wanted him to do it, and he's been doing it for such a long time. So it's, these are just examples. Somebody who's gone this far, I mean, he can't be a farce, right? But like I said, when someone gives you a review copy, like a certain company, and they don't like his review on it, and then they take it down, They take down his video, or they require him, or they file copyright infringement or something. After deliberately giving him his own review copy, they tell him to take the video down, copyright, all this legal stuff, legal action, and then the company itself takes the game away or something like that. I can actually just read it right here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Let's see. A Wild Games studio made a copyright claim against Bain's negative WTF is critique of their game Day 1 Gary's Incident, which resulted in the video being taken down despite having issued Bain with a review copy. See, there you go. And use of copyrighted material for criticism being allowed under fair use. Bain's follow-up video responding to the takedown attracted press attention and leveled further criticism against Wild Games Studio, which resulted in the studio retracting its request. So, you mean to tell me that a guy who supposedly makes shitty comments on videos or reviews made a company realize the heinousy of the crime, the heinous crime, made them see the error of their ways? It's funny, you know. It's funny when you take that vengeful spirit away and then you actually realize how much of a douchebag you were. It makes you realize how much humiliation it requires for you to, you know, just to understand that type of perspective. So the fact that they took away their you know, copyright or dispute against him and had him take down the video, and after they see response video, you know, it turns out to be that. But guess what? He doesn't have that ability to do that anymore for a man who's dishonoring his legacy. I get it. You don't have to like the man. You don't have to do A, B, and C. You know, and it goes to show you don't have to do A, B, and C to prove how much you didn't like this man because he said something about your game, your baby, or something like that. So it just goes to show how people just don't take freedom of speech, or they don't allow that freedom. They don't like it. They don't like it when someone is using it to its full potential, and they don't like somebody critiquing their game. If you can call Mass Effect Andromeda a game, sorry, then yeah, it's the very lowest form of what humanity can do for somebody who was good at what he was doing and for someone who was passionate about what he was doing. But anyway, I will finally get to what Casey Hudson has said for his quote. I was extremely disappointed to find out about the comments on the passing of John Bain from someone who was previously part of Bioware. Let me be clear that they don't represent Bioware's views, EA's, or my own. Our condolences go out to John and his family. Yeah, so it's not the fact that you know, it's bad enough that John had to face the battle against cancer, right? You know, that wasn't enough for the man to deal with. But no, he has to face other people's critiques and hateful words after his death. Well, he can't even fight against that. The only people that can fight against it are the people that support and love him and on what he did and respected his passion. I mean, it's just common sense, you know? And I'm sad that I didn't get to know who this man was and for what he did, but maybe I will after this video. As sad as it is, sometimes it takes death for people to realize of a person's true legacy. You know, it's kind of, for example, it's kind of like that with getting what's the highest degree in black belt? A 6th degree black belt or a 7th degree? Correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the last degrees for black belt, the only way you can get it is if you die. That's the only way you can ascend to the highest degree for the highest caliber of black belt. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's to help continue the legacy and have it passed down from generation to generation. Sometimes that's how it goes. I always thought that was insane when I was taking karate class as a kid. I was like, holy crap, that's how you get that highest degree? Anyway, but, you know, and they say death isn't the end. Death is the beginning, right? It's a circle of life, and I'm sure we've seen Lion King a million times to hopefully understand what that truly means. And there will be many demons clawing at his grave, trying to shatter his image, trying to tear everything apart, because he said something about your game. Like, really? Did he go and, you know, kill your family? Did he go and dishonor you in some way, right? Did he personally go to you and start spitting on you? Spitting on someone's game is completely different. But it could be an external part of somebody because it's something that person worked on and everything. But was he doing it out of spite? Was he doing it out of pure hatred? Was he doing it just for shits and giggles? You guys can let me know if he makes videos like that. But I'm just going with the general census of it, considering his reputation, TotalBiscuit's legacy. And from what I've read, I don't think he was the type of guy that would do it spitefully. But anyway, folks, let me know what you guys think about how this made you feel. If you were a big-time TotalBiscuit fan, or not even a fan, just a supporter of what he did and what his passion, you know, what he was showing with it, and his love for gaming and just all things, you know, ambitious. Yeah, let me know. This is it's sad. It's really sad when Casey Hudson has to do with an ex-former Bioware employee, because it could really burn the company's bridges even more. You know, the only way to fix criticism on a game when it's something really, you know, a really bad game, is to not make a shitty game. Make a good game and spend time on it. I'm just saying. It's as simple as that. You know, just make a Super Metroid. Just make a Breath of the Wild. Just, I don't know, just do something, okay? Anyway, this has been a sincere farewell to the man TotalBiscuit, Mr. John Peter Bain. I wish you all the luck in the world in the afterlife, friend. And I'm glad that your legacy will never shatter, will never be tarnished, no matter what demons claw at your grave, at your coffin. Your honor and legacy will fight and fend them off. Plus, the family and friends that you have established and created will defend you till the end. To the end, till the end. Sorry. Anyway, take care, Pathfinders.